Yo, what up, man? Chris, somebody checking back in, man. Back with the blog, man. Make sure that like button, that subscribe button away, and I appreciate all the support. Hope you guys is having a good Sunday, man. Salute to everybody. Just some quick battle rap news, real quick, before I start my day. Obviously, we know about the Cassidy response to John. He had a lot of stuff to say about not liking the pay, not liking the promo, not liking the feeling like he had to do everything, not liking the card, not liking working with a league owner, just a whole bunch of what I consider to be excuses at the end of the day. And John responded. He kind of refuted a lot of what Cassidy said. He even called the dude that was putting the event together with him on the phone, and he pretty much confirmed everything. So I don't really know how niggas are literally blaming John. And there are a few people out there that I feel like is still kind of blaming John. But he basically said, yo, you agreed to the money, you agreed to the contract, you agreed to the promo. I asked you how you feel about the card. We can put the card together. You didn't have no say-so, no input, no nothing. So now these issues that you claim to have was stuff that John never heard before. So I don't really know how John is at fault. I think Cassie just did bad business, to be real with you. And what I think happened, if I'm just keeping it real, I probably feel like they announced the battle. It was lackluster excitement about it, but that's not nothing. I don't really feel like Cassidy be getting this overwhelming excitement anyway. I feel like even when he battled Hitman, the excitement wasn't there. It's just that the face-off was so big that, of course, people wanted to see it. So there wasn't a lot of excitement. If you realize, I think either later that day or the very next day, Geechee Gotti and Hitman had got announced. So you kind of had two big announcements in like one day. And I think obviously people probably wanted to see Hitman and Geechee a little bit more. It had been brewing and everything. And then a little bit later you get Winter Madness, Murder Mook return. So all of those battles, Mook and Arsenal, Geechee Gotti and Hitman, were bigger battles than John and Cassidy. A battle that a lot of people wasn't asking for. So I think the announcement and I think the lackluster, mass appeal from the fans from the announcement, I think he might have realized, like, yo, I'm getting a lot of my money on the back end, and I'm going to have to go work overdrive in order to kind of get the kind of money that I want for this battle. But that's not John's fault. You know what I'm saying? All John can do is book the battle and put the announcement out. I do feel like John promoed. He did a lot of interviews. He did a lot of ish talking about Cassidy. I guess Cassidy was felt disrespected even by the ish talking. I don't understand that. Now, it is fair that Clone, Loso, Bad News, who did lose a family member, but Bad News and Rex and people like that did not promo. I will admit that John was literally the only person promoing on that card. So that is a little bit on John. You got to get the other niggas to promo, whether you hitting them up and all this kind of stuff. So the only thing I can really blame John is just probably, I think he left a lot of the communication up with like a middleman or something like that. And I just think maybe he should have been, I think he was trying to talk to Cass, but he did say that he kind of left it up to a middleman just so he can focus on the bars. But that's really it, bro. That's like all I can say is maybe you and Cassie should have had a better relationship just speaking on the phone yourselves. But outside of that, Cassie just, of course, you got to carry the card. You the main event. You the A side of the battle. You are you was the algorithm before the algorithm bull. You are the energy, like you say. You're gonna have to carry the card. So to not do the battle, and I keep telling y'all, there was a Hip Hop Is Real interview, bro. You know what I'm saying? I feel like let me find it because I almost want to play this joint. But there was a Hip Hop Is Real interview with Cassidy. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, bear with me. Where he battled, or not battled, but he interviewed right before the battle, where he didn't really have none of these issues, bro. Like he wasn't saying none of this stuff when he caught up with him. This was the interview right here.
You see more, you'll see
Hold on, bear with me. Bear with me.
Entire lifetime.
As long as I'm boxing.
Not happening.
This was the interview. Now you want to play all these commercials. Hold on, bear with me, man.
Grammarly's effective communication
this what we
score.
Doing? Another commercial.
How well your company communicates.
But once I see the momentum build up, it's a whole card of people battling. I ain't see no face-offs. I ain't really see no promo. I ain't see no real hype from them. So once I pull the trigger, it's gonna be up. So I'm just waiting to see what's going on. But more importantly, I'm just focusing on 30 in this man, having the material ready. Niggas know when I do a face off, it's viral. I could talk crazy to anybody. I could disrespect the nigga right in his face. I could do that all day, every day. Like, you know what I mean? Niggas already know. But I think niggas got it fucked up with what I could do in the ring. Like, what level my pin on. Like, I think they think that was the best I could do with them battles that I did already. So I'm just more focused on that.
Now, that interview, I'm looking at the date. That interview was like 5 or 6 days before the event. It's 5 or 6 days before the event. Never in this interview does he say, I'm not coming, I'm not doing the battle, don't buy your tickets because I won't be showing up. I feel a type of way about who's on the card. I feel a type of way about my money. He never says this, bro. He never, ever says this. And John is basically saying that it was never expressed to him in text message or anything. So I can't really blame John if a nigga is not communicating, bro. Communication is a big deal in anything in life. Relationships, business relationships, whatever. If you don't know how to communicate, then how can I really blame John? He never communicated any of these issues to John in a timely fashion. So I don't really know. I do want to clear the air on something Angry Fan said. Shout out to Angry Fan. He mentioned that he felt like John really didn't take a loss. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I'll let you hear what he said. Hold on.
Oh, John, you made the same amount of money without battling Cassidy as you would have if you did battle Cassidy. Hey, nothing changed. You ain't announced it until right before the event started. So all the pay-per-views you got for $65, that's what you got. We didn't get the Cassidy battle. You came up crazy. Because if you did battle Cassidy, you see what I'm saying? All you would have did was had to pay him mad bread. But because you didn't battle him, you good.
All right, salute the Caps. I actually disagree with this. I definitely feel like John took a loss. And from what I'm hearing, it's a substantial loss. But he really didn't make no real bread on this situation. First of all, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to want refunds because they did not get the Cassidy battle. So the refund on Rap Grid and pay-per-view and all that is going to be going crazy. Another thing is people don't do a lot of pre-sale buying of tickets. So you're not going to announce John and Cassidy and then people are just going to run out and buy all these tickets. That's not how it worked. First of all, people didn't even like the battle or like the announcement. So throughout this whole situation leading up to the battle, Cassidy was never promoting. So therefore, it was never driving anything for ticket sales. I'm not saying John didn't sell any tickets, but this notion that he just sold a lot of tickets because Cassidy was on the card, I don't believe that at all, because I do realize that one of the biggest tickets things is a face-off or some crazy promo, and it was none of that. Then there was, leading up to the battle, a week before the battle, there was all of these rumors like, yo, is Cassidy even going to do the battle? So that also hurt the ticket sales. And then there was no face-off. So people that would have woke up that morning and bought the ticket sales based on the face-off from the night before, that would have just been like, oh, this shit crazy on the face-off. Let me order it right now. They didn't buy it as well. So when you add that to the fact that you had to rent a venue, they rented a venue that was 1,800 people, bro, and only had like 500 people there. So that's a lot of venue size. You got to rent that, security, probably a DJ. You got to split money with Rap Grid. You know what I'm saying? It's not free. You split the profits with Rap Grid as well. A lot of people don't factor that in, but Rap Grid is probably getting 30 or 35% of the pay-per-view sales. So they're taking that as well. You got to play for Rex to come down, Jazz the Rapper to come down, Clone to drive up, Bad News, Loso from Tampa. Who else? Chirac from Massachusetts or whatever. You had to get all these people to fly down, put them in hotels, pay them they back end, they front end, all this kind of stuff, and still run an event. And so, of course, you're going to take a L. You're not going to just be able to sell enough pre-sales to make up for all of that. So I definitely feel like John took an L. And the way he was breaking it down, he was basically saying he got an advance in order to pay Cassidy his money. So, and now that he didn't get the battle, he got to pay the advance back. So yeah, it's pretty much all on him for the most part. So yeah, some of the pre-ticket sales helped, but nah, he definitely took a loss. And he was expecting a profit as well. Like, I'm battling, but now the ticket sales are so low that even I don't really make a profit because I scheduled this event thinking that I was gonna battle today and have a profit on the battle. So that's just how I feel. I kind of feel bad that everything happened for John like that, but I do feel like John booked Cassidy for a business decision and not because he thought the nigga was nice. He really just felt like, okay, I can make a movie, I could do some things, I might even be able to make a profit on this. So he kind of booked him on a money move. And I don't feel like a lot of that is genuine. I think you should book somebody because you feel like he's nice and you want to battle him and he's dope and you want to kick his ass and all that. To book somebody and be like, yo, I know he's trash, he don't win no battles, he's that, but he bring in the tickets. That it's kind of like karma that you got what you asked for in a way, because the premise of why you book people is not based on that. You can't book someone that you just think completely is trash. And I really felt like you booked, like you thought it was trash. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody be saying their opponent is trash, but they still be wanting to battle the nigga. But you literally was in an interview saying it was a business decision of why I booked them. And because of that, this is what comes with business decision. It's not really organic of why y'all should be battling or whatever. So that's the only thing I feel about that. What else is in the news? Kshine poked his head out. You know what I'm saying? He had that announcement where he was like, trouble. And he was basically saying he was returning, where he basically has now shot a music. And he has now shot a music video for Trouble.
When open the door, so I kicked it. Keep a pole of this war, I lifted. Put 2 brand new eyes on my wish list. Want both of them going for Christmas. Ask my carrier, this long distance, like T-Mobile. Y'all on that sprint shit. Don't make me pull up the niggas you dip with. Get a casket, see if you can fit in this. How it's gonna work out, huh? When the homies don't want me to murk out, they on dumb shit as soon as the word out. Like I threw bread, comes all these birds out. These gas wars, and I swerve out. The nerve of these niggas make me nervous. A nigga knock a nerve out. Trouble.
Now people ask Kshine. Let me find it for y'all. Let's go, Shine. You know we all just want to see you back in the ring, bro. Your energy, the game's been missing. He was like, I got y'all, bro. I'm just as anxious. That was on December 13th. Somebody else asked him, is the Shoddy horror battle still happening? And he put yes. That was on December 13th as well. The guy asked, where can I order the match? I'm looking forward to it. That was, he never responded to that. But he's kind of admitting that, the battle is still going on. I think the battle will still happen because niggas been paid money and stuff like that, but I do not think it's going to be happening on that date. I think right now we're looking at literally 15 days before the battle and no other announcements. So that tells me that the battle will most likely be pushed back. Probably still do the battle, but the battle will be pushed back. So, but I don't know. This is a big hit on Kshine. This is just, once again, not informing the fans, not letting niggas know what's going on. For the few people that may have bought a ticket to this event because it's Kshine, you ain't even letting them know what's going on, and there's no announcements. And you got mad niggas like myself and other bloggers saying that they think it's probably going to be canceled. People are trying to do interviews. They saying they can't even catch up with Kshine. So, bro, you're not even marketing. You're not doing nothing. You're not doing it. You got Shoddy on Twitter talking about he don't know what the hell going on. He just wake up every day and write bars. He don't know what's going on with the battle. He hasn't been told it's canceled, so he just keeps assuming that the battle is still going on, but he don't know what's going on. He ain't spoken to nobody about it. So that's not a good sign. And this is why everybody can't be in business, bro, because everybody don't have a business mindset to kind of make shit happen. And this is just bad business right here. So I got to keep it real with you on that. Last thing I'm going to talk about is Hitman. Hitman was spazzing yesterday on Murder Mook, bro, and Loaded Lux and Unkle Rah. Based on what I know, a lot of y'all, let me just say this. Y'all give Hitman a lot of grief. Y'all say he's emotional. Man, that whole rant Hitman did it seemed like it was all facts, bro. It seemed like it was all facts, the stuff he was talking. He said he literally told Unkle Rah, not to record or something or whatever 5 times, and Unkle Rah just kept saying I'm doing my job, and he like, how the hell you doing your job when I own the venue and I own this event and I never hired you? What job are you doing? So I don't really know how Unkle Rah can really say anything, to keep it real with you. You at an event where a nigga clearly is letting you know he don't rock with you, he don't F with you, he don't do nothing. And I think, you know, you kind of using your relationships and just who you are in the culture to think like, oh, he won't kick me out, he won't do this, he won't do that. And Hitman was just like, yo, I'm not gonna disrespect him. He's an OG. I respect my elders, but he was like, I didn't appreciate Unkle Rah getting on camera talking about things could have went left. He's like, what you mean went left? Like, these ain't the kind of problems you want. And basically, he didn't like the fact of Rex saying that, you know, if Unkle Rah can't come in, he not gonna battle or some stuff like that. I don't know how true that is, but we do know that Rex did not do the face-off the night before. And Rex really didn't promo this event either. That's another thing he was mad at. Most of the promo for Power Moves was done by Geechee Gotti and Hitman. Those were the main people doing the promo. But he got on Lux in the watch party. He basically said Lux tried to throw him like $100, even though he was making profit on him. And he reached out to Lux, spoke to Lux, talked to Lux, and told Lux, yo, don't be making money. You undercutting us, selling it for $40 when we selling it for $50. And, you know, let's try to make it right if you're going to do it. And Lux offered him like $100. And then when that didn't work, or $150 or something, they offered him $300. And he was just like, nah, I'm not good with that. So he spoke on Lux. And then with Mook, he said it, I guess he was watching the watch party or whatever, and when Geechee Gotti was talking about Cinnamon, he said Mook was kind of like breaking that down, like, yo, how do we know Cinnamon really got shot? Like, this might be a good angle for Mook and da-da-da. And he said that he felt that that was disrespectful, because it's one thing to say it in a battle, it's another thing to be like debating it off of a battle or whatever. And he was like, my girl really got shot, and Mook running around talking about how do we know his girl really got shot. And he was like, Mook don't need to be talking like that, because that's nothing Mook would ever say in his face. And he said that he never gets on camera and talk about any of the outside shit Mook got going on, like his house and the police coming in there. He said he never spoke on that. He never talked about the rumors about he put hands on his daughter or his girl. He never talked about that. He not sitting around talking about math and the pistol whip rumors and all that stuff. He said he stick to just talking about Mook the battler, not all the extra stuff with Mook. So he said for Mook to be sitting in a podcast / little watch party talking about did Cinnamon get shot, he said he can't respect that. You know what I'm saying? He said stuff like that, they have him put hands on Mook. So he was talking kind of crazy. I'm not going to play it because he was hella cuss words in it, but go check it out. It's on Hip Hop Is Real. And he was wilding for about a good 10-15 minutes. And right now, I have to see that battle, bro. I got to see Murder Mook and Hitman Holler. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of respect for Mook as a battle rapper. You know, I rock with him and everything. And Hitman, I feel like this is the #1 grudge match in battle rap. It's even bigger than Easy and Tay-Rock, and I think that's kind of crazy too. But the energy Hitman got for Mook, and the fact that Mook just recently, when Unkle Rah asked him what's his target for 2025, he just kept saying Hitman. Like, I can battle Easy, I can battle, but Hitman is who I want. So now I'm like, yo, somebody got to put this battle together, because this shit could be epic. Hopefully it won't be no pushing and shoving on crazy stuff, and I don't think it could get to that level if they actually sign the contracts. But this is the #1 battle I want to see in battle rap, because Hitman numbers go through the roof, Mook numbers are good, and Mook is pretty much a legend, Hitman a legend, and the energy for this, I feel like energies like this and crazy grudge matches need to be settled in the ring. I don't want to be like, oh, they never got a chance to battle. I don't like shit like that. So in my opinion, I definitely want to see this battle, and I think it'll definitely be dope. But that's all I got for you. Let me know what you think. Chris Unbiased, holla at your boy.